The car crashes, you get out of the vehicle, you're in a state of shock.
Absolutely, yeah, of course, yeah. It was shocking, yeah, because like 100% nobody expected this.
It's a six-figure car crash all caught on camera. Saturday, April 21st, just before 4 p.m. I'm told an exotic car club was getting together here along Polson Pier. They were going to have a little photo shoot with the Toronto skyline behind them. Now, I'm told some members of the car club are running a little bit late. So the driver of a McLaren 720, a very expensive car, was taking people for a rip here along Polson Pier. Now, I spoke with one man who was a passenger in that car going for a little bit of a joyride. He pulled out his phone and began taking video. He says the driver of the McLaren who he had just met hit the gas, lost control, and slammed into a parked Audi R8 right here across the street.
I don't know what happened, but as soon as I get in, I start filming. Then he just punched it all the way. You have to have some experience to be able to control those kind of high-power vehicles.
Today, City News spoke with this man who was sitting shotgun shooting this video inside the sports car when the McLaren crashed. His first name is Mike, though he asked that we not reveal his full identity.
It was a scary experience, yeah, especially, like I said, I was not even looking at the speedo. I did not know how fast we were going, so I couldn't even gauge, like what kind of impact to expect.
Mike says all he knew about the driver when he got into the McLaren was that his name was Neil. In the video, you'll see the driver of the McLaren in red shoes first run up to the Audi R8. Then the driver runs back to the McLaren before running off. Mike says that's the last time he saw him.
He was nowhere to be found. However, when the police came, they found a passport. They found the Chinese passport, and then he just disappeared. Like we have not seen the driver, I guess, since then.
There were also two passengers inside the Audi. Thankfully, everyone was able to walk away, or in the case of the driver of the McLaren, run. There's also been multiple incidents involving sports cars in the GTA in recent weeks. April 28th, the driver of this Porsche hits a police vehicle before fleeing on foot. Sunday, April 1st, a woman lost her life when a Lamborghini crashed in Stouffville. We reached out to one of our country's top drivers. He believes in this case, the driver of the McLaren turned off his traction control and might also have been missing some important training. You're the Canadian National Rally Car Champion. When you watch this video, what do you see?
These cars are being sold because people buy them 99% of the time for show-off, but those are proper cars. McLaren has won how many world championships in Formula One? You cannot expect young guys, especially some of them from different cultures, especially with maybe a bit too much money for a McLaren like this, you cannot expect them to police themselves. So the system has to almost mandate the driver training, especially for somebody with that kind of car.
You feel that it's a few bad apples that are unfortunately typecasting an entire community?
It's just one-off. It's kind of like an outlier. It does not depict the entire car community, especially here in Canada. We do try to be safe. It's not about driving recklessly. It's not about showing off or stunt driving. None of that. It's just enjoying or appreciating other vehicles.
Now you can still see the tire marks here along Polson Pier. As for a McLaren 720, it runs north of $360,000. That's the base price for an Audi R8. It starts at about $215,000. We reached out to Toronto Police today for some information about the driver who was last seen fleeing, taking the Heel Tow Express. All the Toronto Police would say is that they're moving forward with an investigation, and they hope to have an update in the coming days.